What's up, everyone? It's Dave, aka Rock King Kong, and today I want to talk about what I am coining the dopamine domino effect. And I don't know if I heard that somewhere and I'm just remembering it, or if I'm coming up with that term. It doesn't really matter. But I'm driving to go play some basketball right now, and I just thought this would be a good time to connect with everyone. Back in the old days, I like to drive around and not get in accidents because I'm filming myself. So, yeah. What do I want to say about dopamine domino effect? So the dopamine domino effect, in my opinion, is this thing I made up where once you do one thing that really increases your dopamine, if you used to have other habits and other things that you would do that would really increase your dopamine, then that is going to have a domino effect where you're going to want to keep doing all of the things that increase your dopamine to a unhealthy level in a short period of time. So let's just use like smoking weed or doing drugs as an example. So when you smoke weed or do drugs, your dopamine levels go really high. You feel really good for a short period of time. And then you have a recovery period where you're not going to be feeling very good for a little while, up to a week, depending on, the type of thing that you did and how much dopamine was released. But what tends to happen, especially in my life, and this is why I want to stay away from all things that cause too much dopamine, including social media and things like that, too many YouTube videos that are just kind of mind-numbing, video games, stuff like that, is because once you do a little bit, your mind has this way of, convincing you that you can do a little bit more. And let's say you're smoking weed, and then all of a sudden now you have a high dopamine level, and your brain's like, oh, give me more. So now you're going to eat junk food. So now you're eating a bag of chips, or you're eating something else that's bad, or you're going for a alcoholic beverage now. A lot of times in my past, it worked the opposite way for me. If I would let myself have a drink or two, then all I would want to do is smoke weed, because I knew that it would bring me up to another level in my dopamine. And so another thing, if you smoke weed, you're more likely to just watch something dumb on TV or play video games. That was my experience. And then it's going to have a domino effect. You're going to wake up in the morning feeling lower, and you're going to be feeling probably regretful, which you should learn to deal with and not give yourself those negative feelings after you do something that's not optimal. That's probably the best thing you can do, is just forgive yourself and move on. That can be hard to do. So what I noticed is, if you're doing something at night that increases your dopamine, maybe it's binge watching a TV show, maybe it's watching porn, maybe it's all the type of things like that. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to feel lower levels of energy, and you're going to be a little bit more depressed, just hormonally. And then you're going to be wanting to go towards something that increases your dopamine right away. So you might be wanting to smoke weed again, or you might be wanting to sit around and do nothing and just be on your phone and get little hits of dopamine for every little comment that you see or like you see, or Instagram girl you see, or whatever. You're going to be wanting to go after those things because you want to get back to that level that you were. And then what can happen is you reintroduce yourself to that high, that buzz that you got from whatever dopamine increasing activity that you did, and not in a natural way, not like exercising or going for a walk or socializing with friends. These things are all more natural, positive ways to increase your dopamine and hormone levels, is to be around friends and do positive things for yourself, or do a long stint of hard work until you see the payoff. That's a great way to get a dopamine hit. Like if you're working on a project and then you finally finish it and you see, the reward from all the hard work, that's a great way. But what you'll find is that if you're not getting hits from these things, and you're getting them from negative habits, that your body is going to just signal out for you and make excuses for you to do more things that give you that dopamine hit. So it's better to not have a little bit of anything that's negative, because our brains are wired to just take the easy route. And when you're taking the easy route, things get harder, actually. Things in your life get harder. You become less happy. You become less proficient. You become less of yourself and more of a slave to all these unnatural things that wouldn't be there in the first place. If we lived closer to nature, we wouldn't have cell phones. We wouldn't have video games. We wouldn't have porn. We wouldn't have all these things that are really, really harmful to us in the short term and especially in the long term. So do not get attached to this dopamine. Have a little bit and it's okay, because when you have a little bit, your brain, it's just the way that you're wired. Like, not that you don't have willpower, that you can't, do the best that you can in every moment, and you can choose to just have a little bit. But if you've had a lot of past of doing a lot of things that were very stimulating, going out and partying is another example, then it would be in your best interest, in my experience, to not do those things at all, at least for a long period of time. And even junk food, I mentioned it earlier, that's a big dopamine release. So, even if you eat some junk food, a lot of times people will cheat a little bit, and then what will happen is they say, oh, well, I just cheated a little bit, so I might as well just cheat a little bit more, because what's the point? I already screwed today up. Or you'll find that a lot with people that are trying to quit watching porn. They will watch it once, and then because your brain is knows every trick in the book to get you to kind of fold on whatever you're doing, because it knows you better than anyone else. It is you. And so then you'll just be like, oh, I want to watch another one. I already screwed up. And then you're going to trick yourself and make excuses for yourself why you are going to just continue to do that habit, even for maybe just the day. But then you'll wake up in the morning, you're going to have regret, you're going to have remorse, you're not going to feel your best. So it is better to just not have that domino effect happen, and actually just stick to your goals and stick to what makes you feel good, because a lot of times people feel like they're going to be missing out on something when they're not partaking in certain things like partying, smoking, watching videos online, scrolling through Instagram. You have that FOMO, that fear of missing out. But that is just a trick that your brain plays on you, because it wants more dopamine, and it can't I can't say that word right now. It can't tell the difference between something that is positive and giving you dopamine and something that is negative. So it just wants the dopamine, and it's not biased. So if you can stay away from those things and you don't fall into the dopamine domino effect, then that will probably leave you happier in the long run and more content in the long run, because you just want to live a kind of calm, peaceful life without a lot of stress, and just having all this little dopamine bump is just going to cause you more stress in the long run. So do not fall into that trap. It's easy to fall into, and it's okay if you do. Just pick yourself back up, get back on track, and that is all I wanted to share with you guys. Just stay positive, stay focused, and don't give up, because it will get easier over time. That's what I found at this 40 days that I started with, and now I'm on to just bigger and better things in my life, because I'm abstaining from a lot of things that are hurting me, that just increase dopamine and leave you kind of fiending for more after. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon.